in this offense. We've said before when we first started running this after 2007 that we could run this offense with two good guys and nine cones. And so if you have a lack of talent on offense, I think that this is a great offense for you because again, it does give you a chance to move the ball and be successful with lesser personnel because it is somewhat contrarian in nature. The tailback is the best runner we have. Okay, our first tailback was Jeremy Gallen. He rushed for 3,500 yards over 2 years, and he signed with the University of Michigan. Our next tailback's name was Tom Smith. You'll see him on video a lot. Over 2 years, he rushed for right around 2,800 yards, and he's committed to the University of Tennessee. So we've had some really good tailbacks in this system. They're going to get a lot of carries, but not 25 a game, but maybe 15. And they're going to run the ball usually to the strong side. But our best runner, without a doubt, is our tailback. And if he can throw, it's even better. Right now, our last two fullbacks have been our throwers, which you'll see on our film. But before that, Jeremy Gowan was our tailback, and he was our thrower. The wingback would be the second guy. If we said two good guys and nine cones, then the wingback would be the second good guy. He's going to be probably a quick player. Ours have always been short. I've said before, it seems like we lead the free world in 5'8", 160-pound guys. And so we really have done a good job with those little guys. And they got to be able to block. Not as quite the same blocks as in the wing T, but they do have to be able to block. And they have to catch the ball. Usually our wingback is one of our best receivers. So the number one play they run is the weak side counter. And the number two play is the weak side sweep, which you'll see on the film. But our wingback and our tailback, those are our home run hitters and our best backs. Our fullback, he's got to be a lead blocker on sweep and power, so he's got to be tough. And what he can do determines our second series. Okay, when we first put this offense in, our fullback was mostly a blocker. Now our fullback is also a runner and a passer, so we've evolved a little bit. But there's lots of different series you'll see in the single wing. There's the spin series, the T series, the buck lateral series, the half spin series. There's all kinds of series you can run. We've chosen the spin series as our second series next to the power series because our fullbacks have been a little more agile and a little more athletic. So again, the fullback's chosen for his blocking first, his running second, and maybe his passing even more so than his running. Our blocking back is the player that if we didn't have a good blocking back, we wouldn't run this offense because he is the extra blocker. But if he's not a good extra blocker, then it's not going to be very successful. We've been very fortunate to have a very good blocking back for the last 2 years. He is a heck of a runner and a hitter, and he's very physical, and he's tough, passionate, team leader, and it's going to be hard to replace him. Whereas some programs are always looking for the next quarterback or linebacker, it seems like we're always looking for a blocking back and a tight end because those positions are absolutely crucial to what we do. Our X receiver is really our only receiver in our base set. If we didn't have a true wide receiver, we'd just go two tight ends. But when you put a receiver in and one tight end, we get more predictable looks on defense. When we go double tight, unbalanced, which is a four blocker side, and a two blocker side away from the center, then we get some different looks that we don't always, like up front. And so we found that going with the split end, as long as he can stretch the defense, can help predict the defense and give us a little more normal looks. Our tight end has got to be a blocker first. He really only runs drag routes, verticals, and corners. Our last two tight ends have been college players. The first tight end we used in this offense signed with the University of New Mexico. He's now playing safety, but he signed there as a receiver. But he was able to go in and out from tight end to receiver and was very successful for us. Our second tight end signed with the University of Colorado. He was 6'5", 220, was not overly fast, had great hands, but was a tremendous blocker. And Colorado really signed him for his blocking skills. And then our third tight end who played this year was a transfer. He only played 1 year for us. I feel if we had him back another year, he'd be a Division I guy. But he signed with Division I AA Presbyterian College. And so we've had three tight ends in a row in this offense that have been college players. So we feel we do a good job using the tight end. And that's kind of an unheralded position in football. And so we're able to find a guy in there and use him effectively. But again, catching's a plus, but they have to be able to block to play tight end for us. Our power guard is our most agile offensive lineman. He's got to be able to run and hit in space. He's a wing T guard. Okay, we've had a good one for the last 2 years. You'll see him on film. And so again, we're not looking for a big lineman there. We're looking for a very physical and good running lineman. Our outside tackle is our best reacher and our second best puller. We pull him on our counter and our weak side sweep. But the thing he's got to be able to do is to reach a wide defensive end. And the one we have is able to do that. He's a junior, and you'll see him on film, and he's been a good player for us. And so hopefully, we'll have some more of those guys coming down the road. But that's a very crucial position because he's got to be able to block down and kind of collapse the defense on the power play. But he's also got to be able to pull on the weak side plays. He's got to be able to reach on the strong sweep. So it takes a versatile lineman to play that position. That's usually where we put our best true lineman. Now, our split guard is what we call our short puller. He pulls to the strong side on power. He pulls to the weak side on trap and to the strong side on trap. But he's a guy, because of the one we had this year, you'll see on film, we started pulling him on all of our weak side sweeps our strong side sweeps, where we didn't used to do that. And so the split guard is the second guy that's got to be able to run a little bit. Now our center, he's got to be an accurate snapper, average blocker. We really took off this year when we made some line changes and we inserted a new center into our lineup. He's not much to look at, about 180 pounds. He's not very strong. He only has 1 year of football. But he was a guy that was conscientious enough that could get the snap back there and block the A-gap. And so that's all he had to do. 90% of the time, you'll see our center blocking the A-gap. So again, that's probably our second worst lineman where we put him. Now, I don't mean the young man's the worst. I mean, that's just where we put him as far as talent-wise going in. We feel that we can have a center who doesn't have to do as many things as the other linemen. And then our inside tackle would be where we try to hide a player. Okay, the inside tackle we had this year was a sophomore. If you would have told me last year that he would start for us as a sophomore, I would have slapped the taste out of your mouth. But he ended up starting for us for our whole season. We won the district championship again, and he was a guy that really was not bad at all, and he's going to be only better over the years. But if you got a big body that you've got to play, this is the place to play him because he's usually covered up by the outside tackle, and 90% of the time he's just going to be a down blocker. So we feel that we can hide a guy in that position. We don't pull him ever. He's always a filler or a down blocker. So again, those are the basic plays of what we do in our offense and how we call the plays, how we got to this situation. And so I'll open it up now for questions. And then when we come back, we'll go immediately into the